In 1914, the brand new colony of Atascadero, under the leadership of its founder, Edward Gardner Lewis, began work on the Atascadero Administration Building, a double-domed Italian Renaissance structure destined to become an icon for the city. 88 years later, that building was seriously damaged during the San Simeon earthquake. This is the story of how we put it back together.
To listen to people in council as the public would get up and comment about it. Those who had an immense love for the building and learning why that immense love was there, learning about the history of the building, learning about the history of Atascadero. It's all part of the process, and that process with its learning curve, and even with the contractors and the construction management company, this has been a real eye-opener for a lot of them, and it has been so fantastic to have been part of that process in educating so many people about so many things related to this building, not just architecture, but almost archaeology. Why did this happen? Why is it this way? Why does the building look like that? And helping answer some of those questions. It's been a blast.
Established in the middle of a cattle ranch in 1913, Atascadero represented a vision of sustainable agrarian living coupled with urban amenities. E.G. Lewis envisioned people living in custom-built homes on large lots, each relying on the bounty of the agriculture of fruit, vegetables, and livestock to cover or at least defray the cost of living. Lewis housed early residents and prospective landowners in a tent city, incorporating under canvas all the services of city life, including a general store, a laundry, individual residences, even a movie theater. But the first brick-and-mortar structures would not be homes. They would be the anchors of industry, health, and municipal government. 3 of those anchors still stand. The printery, which housed the only rotogravure presses west of the Mississippi. The hospital, which today houses government offices, and of course, the Grand Administration Building. Designed by prominent San Francisco architect Walter D. Bliss, the 60,000 square foot 4-story building was inspired by the buildings of the 1904 St. Louis Exposition, where nearby, Lewis had founded his first community, University City, in 1903, around his publishing complex for Woman's Magazine and Woman's Farm Journal. In 1906, the city incorporated, and Lewis served as its first mayor.
It always seemed a little bigger than life, or I didn't quite understand it. We'd come up here, we'd drive up from Ventura County, and it was a long drive, as you could imagine, being a kid, 7, 8 years old kind of thing, and all of a sudden you see this big, beautiful building over here in the middle of nowhere. And then I'd hear my father telling about the city that his uncle had master planned, first planned community in California. And so I was looking for a city, because at the time we lived in the suburbs of Los Angeles. So I'd come up here and see this big, beautiful building in the middle of nowhere, and I wondered, well, where's the city?
Lewis planned to use the Atascadero Administration Building to house local government offices, the Chamber of Commerce, and of course, real estate offices. The building would be fronted by a sunken garden, also inspired by the St. Louis Exposition. The building would be constructed by F.O. Engstrom at a projected cost of $250,000, using locally produced bricks on a concrete frame at the lower levels. Above the fourth floor, the masonry was the primary structure. The cornerstone was laid July 12, 1914. The building was finally finished in 1918. It would serve as the center of Lewis's utopia for just 9 years, until Lewis was forced into bankruptcy. Over the decades, the building housed many uses, including several schools, complete with rooftop penthouses and a kitchen. For a while, it was a bank. Later, it housed the community library and was home to the local Boy Scouts and the Atascadero Historical Society. After the city incorporated in 1979, it contained city offices and the police department. In 1977, it was listed as a national landmark. Surrounded by decorative, if non-functioning fountains, shrouded by decades-old deodora cedars, the building stood as the center of the city until December 22, 2003, at 11:15 in the morning, the day of the San Simeon earthquake.